We did it. We got through the gays, and we've now arrived at the lesbian pit stop of this month's videos. I love lesbians, okay? Big shout out to lesbians out there who, first of all, are the best of us, right? They support trans people more overwhelmingly than any other group in the LGBTQ soup alphabet mafia community. They were there to take care of the gays when we were dying of AIDS in the 70s and 80s and 90s. But most importantly, I think lesbians are the most radical form of rebellion against the patriarchy, because not only are they not men, but they also reject attraction to men. So they can't be coerced or gaslighted or talked into doing things for men because they lack that attraction, that submissiveness to men. And that is the ultimate threat. So I started thinking about the lesbian movies that I've watched, and there's one that I simply cannot oversee this month, and that's Bottoms, the Fight Club satire black comedy where two lesbian high schoolers create a fight club in their school just so they can hang out with cheerleaders and hopefully sleep with them. The movie itself is hilarious. It plays out like this absurdist comedy where the details don't really make sense in the real world. Like, you can tell that this sounds like a story you hear from someone older recounting their glory days in high school because, for example, when the principal calls them,
"Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?"
the principal would most likely not call them these things in real life, but when you recount events from your childhood, you kind of embellish some things. Also, it has a sense of humor that feels up to date without trying to attack a certain demographic specifically. Like, there are movies that you can tell were written by a bunch of boomers trying to do Gen Z humor, and then there are movies that you can tell the people who wrote it and directed it and were in it improvising lines that made the final cut are actually part of that generation and understand that humor. And I think that's fun and fresh. But I also think it does the concept of Fight Club in a funnier way. Now, I actually even watched Fight Club just for this video for the first time. I had actually never seen Fight Club, and I got some thoughts, and I may make a video in the future talking about it because I found it fucking hysterical and hilarious, probably for all the wrong reasons. But all in all, the movie is good. I liked it. But I'm gonna say that Bottoms did it better because, again, you want something done right, ask a lesbian. Bottoms also challenges the establishment, but it does so without hating on women from beginning to end, and I think that's very commendable. They also made me laugh. For the right reasons. I laughed because I was supposed to laugh at jokes. So our main characters are PJ and Josie, and I've never heard more lesbian names in my life than that. PJ is played by Rachel Sennett, we love her, and Josie is played by Ayo Edebiri, who we also love. And they are our best friends. They are lesbian virgins, and the school generally hates them, not because they're gay, because people don't hate people just because they're gay. They hate them because they are gay and untalented and ugly. And this is why we had a civil rights movement, for the right to not be hated for being gay, but also untalented and ugly. Because if you're going to be gay and untalented, being ugly or pretty is a subjective concept, and it can also be changed and enhanced by the person. But the talent, if you're going to be gay and untalented, you're asking for it. Okay, you deserve to be bullied. And I'm saying that as an untalented gay. So here we are. And they have a crush on these cheerleaders. You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to screen record and I'm going to walk you guys through the film. So hopefully copyright don't get my ass. I also got to talk about And Just Like That. Have you guys been watching And Just Like That? That shit's getting stupid. As soon as June is over, I'm going to make a video on And Just Like That because the first 2 episodes alone are just shocking. I don't know how far the writing for Sex and the City has fallen or if it was ever in the dumpster. And, it's just that nostalgia effect that makes you think something was better than it was. But that shit stinks. Like, it stinks serious butthole. I also watched The Voyeurs with Sydney Sweeney and what's that guy's name? Justice Smith, I think. I saw the TV Glow. Guys, this is it's like an edge-of-your-seat thriller, voyeuristic film about lies and deception and erotica, and it was so bad. I might cover it as well. I don't understand why these A-listers just do shit like this and then move on and pretend like it never happened. I'm like, no, we saw, guys. There's evidence. There's video evidence. Okay, Bottoms. Let's go back. PJ has a crush on Brittany. It's this one. She's Kaya Gerber. And Josie has a crush on Isabel, this girl. Problem is, Isabel is dating the star quarterback of the school, who is played by our favorite gay prince. There he is, Nicholas Galung. He's got a long-ass stupid name. He played a lot of gay characters in his films, and he plays it a little bit fruity here too. And the star quarterback in this school is obsessed with the football team of this high school. Again, American culture, I'll never understand why people are so obsessed with high school football. It's literally just a bunch of kids playing sports. Y'all need hobbies. Y'all need free healthcare. You need to be able to live life without fearing ending up in the hospital and needing insurance that you don't have, because once you start living life, the world is so big out there. There's so much to learn and see. PJ and Josie are losers. The first time they hit on Brittany and Isabel, it's very awkward, and all they can say is, "Oh, you skinny girl, you need to eat a sandwich. You skinny mini. Yeah, oh, look at you. You're disappearing behind a pole. You are so tiny." Women out there, straight women out there, heterosexual ladies, this is your warning that if a man is hitting on you, he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I don't usually sleep with sevens, but I'll open an exception for you because you remind me of my mom." Or a lesbian will be like, "You fucking skinny bitch, you skinny girl, you need to eat. Eat to fill that booty, skinny mini." I would rather get hit on by lesbians. We also have Hazel. Hazel is probably my favorite. She's the cool lesbian that you want to befriend. She will die for you, literally, if you're friends. Where is she? There she is. There's Hazel. The one that actually looks like a lesbian in this film, by the way. I'm joking. They don't all look the same. So one night at a fair, Isabel is having problems with her boyfriend. His name is Jeff, by the way. I forgot to give the meathead a name, but he'll always be Gay Nicholas for me. But they're having an argument, and she somehow, by mistake, by accident, by chance, ends up in their car. And she wants to get away from him, but he's a man baby. And then trying to get away, there's this horrendous incident, and he falls to the floor, screaming in pain. The football team comes over because they all pander to this god, the gift to humanity himself, Gay Nicholas. And again, it's over dramatic, it's over the top. Like, this wouldn't have happened. We're hearing this story from an old wise lesbian who's telling us how school used to be 50 years ago. And this is what it was. It's game day, get horny, kill the ferrets. Go Vikings. Also, very jealous that they have personalized lockers like this. I wish my locker in high school said this. Instead, we didn't have lockers. We had to carry our backpacks all day. That's what happens in communist countries. You don't get lockers in school. After the incident with the car, where he was completely unharmed, Jeff's feeling homicidal. But Hazel, the little horny lesbian back there, assumed that PJ and Josie went to juvie because Josie has a hurt arm. So the news spreads, and rumors that these lesbians violently attacked Jeff with murderous intent also spread. And suddenly PJ and Josie have a little bit of clout, so much so that even Brittany and Isabel talk to them. And they're like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, that's great." Yeah. And to avoid getting in trouble, they lie to the principal and tell him that this was actually a stunt for their self-defense club, their fight club. See, they live in this universe where the entire town is obsessed with high school football. So much so that they have nemesis rivals of a different school. They've been having a 50-year-long feud. And every year, just before the game between the two teams, the other town, the Northington whatevers, they start tormenting people from this town, including a girl was essayed by someone from that school. So PJ and Josie take this opportunity to pretend like this violent rumor that's going around was actually a stunt they pulled for a fight club, so they can teach other girls to protect themselves against these vandals, against these animals from this different school. And the idea for this plan is to basically get hot girls to sign up, hopefully Isabel and Brittany, and then they have an excuse to hang out with them and to talk to them and to touch them and to hit on them. They enlist Hazel for help with that because Hazel seems to be the only one who would know how to do any of the bureaucracy. Like, Hazel is the person that gets shit done when two other numbnuts are talking ideas that could never be executed in real life. And our two other notable characters we're going to have are Sylvie. She's this one. She has a stepdad that she brings out every now and then with hatred in her heart. I think she wants to kill her stepdad. And then we have Annie. Annie is the black Republican that says some out-of-pocket shit every now and then in the film, and it's fucking hysterical.
What is your vagina?
Nice try, PJ, but my vagina belongs to the government.
In their first meeting, neither of the girls they're crushing on shows up. Instead, we have this bunch of eclectic girls that want to actually learn self-defense. And they're not afraid to really go ham on the punching. So first lesson, let's punch each other in the face and see what happens. And what happens is this.
Just come on up.
But this is good. This is good because this bloody nose is then going to be used to entice Isabel and Brittany to join their club. They also have to find a teacher who will, I guess, sponsor or oversee their club at school, which I guess makes sense. And they go to this guy because he doesn't care what happens in school. He's just there, I guess, for the vibes. What is this? And why is it on the school board? And their second meeting is more successful because, hey, look who showed up. The hot cheerleaders. So at this point, PJ and Josie have realized that this has gone a little bit too far and they actually have to do a self-defense class, like a fight club in school to teach them how to fight, because that was the whole point. So that's what they do, all on the clout of having gone to juvie over the summer, which they didn't do, and over the stories of them literally killing someone in juvie, which they also didn't do. But it's all good. Women helping women. Just like in Fight Club, they make a ring around two fighters and then they just hit each other. And they keep on hitting until they, I guess, learn how to hit stronger or defend better. They're not really learning techniques of fighting. They're just hitting each other. But if you think about it, that's what they did in Fight Club as well. They just fought for the sake of unleashing all of that rage inside of you. They also at some point pause the physical fighting and start talking, start therapizing each other, getting to know each other on a more personal level, because up until this point, they barely know each other's names. And it's funny, but also poignant. At one point, Josie gives a whole speech where she pretends like juvie was actually the Hunger Games. No, I'm serious. She starts describing the Hunger Games as her days in juvie. It felt really obvious to me, and I really thought that someone was going to catch up to it, but they didn't.
We had to survive the tributes, and, you know, I did have to, fight people basically every single night.
That's enough for Isabel to ask Josie out, not on a date, but like a study date. And this is after Hazel has found out that her mom is sleeping with overgrown baby over here. And they mention in the film that it is illegal. Okay, it's not illegal. He's not a minor, but it's still really fucking creepy. So in Mean Girls fashion, on their study date, Josie reveals to Isabel that her boyfriend is cheating on her. She confronts her boyfriend, finds out that it is true, and decides to take vengeance.
Well, what about a bomb? Like a super small bomb.
I love a lesbian that resorts to bombs immediately when talking about revenge. We could egg his house, we could slash his car's tires, or we could blow up his car, right? That's fun. And so they do. They egg his house, they toilet paper his house, which I think is a very American thing to do. I've never seen anyone toilet paper anyone's house in Europe. I think the idea of it is so ridiculous. I cannot imagine being a kid and thinking it's so funny to just throw toilet rolls at someone's house and what? It's a waste. Imagine all the bum holes you could have wiped with that, and instead you're just covering someone's house to go to the bin. You're wasting money. Trying to, what are you trying to do? Humiliate someone's house? The concept of toilet papering someone's house is just so stupid. Like fireworks. You know, fireworks is literally money you set on fire for a spectacle. You want to see a spectacle of fireworks? I don't know, go online, go on YouTube. There's so many videos and films where there's plenty of fireworks. But to continue blowing up fireworks in the sky is like, yeah, look at all the money we're just blowing up while also blowing up kids with your tax pay. Anyway, they blow up Jeff's car just as Isabel and Josie were about to kiss. Boom. There you go. I love a lesbian who sets a plan and sticks to it. Like, they know how to get shit done. I'm telling you, they are the best of us. Now, Little Weasel over here starts threatening their club because the big game is coming up, and this could serve as a distraction. So while most of the members of the club accept the ending of its club, and they're like, you know what, it was fun while it lasted, we had a good time, and we learned a lot with each other, let's just remember it for what good it did to us. PJ is not happy and she gets into a little altercation with Hazel, an altercation that the little bitch boy of the football team sees. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh my God, fucking hell, that look. And he uses that to his advantage. He speaks to Hazel and discovers the whole truth. PJ and Josie were never in juvie. They just used this club to get close to girls. Because they're horny. But see, horny lesbians make a class that teaches women how to defend themselves. Horny straight men go out and sexually assault women. So you tell me which one is morally acceptable. Nonetheless, the ending of the club isn't enough to shake up the foundations already established between Josie and Isabel, so they have a little date, and this time they start making out. They start smooching. Isabel is into Josie. On the other end of this duo, there's PJ, who's into Brittany, and it's very clear that while Josie is into Isabel as a person, PJ is only into Brittany as a walking body. And after some heavy flirtation, and it was very flirtatious, PJ kisses Brittany, but Brittany's like, I'm straight. And it's awkward. Look at her face. Oh, look at her. Oh my God. She's taking it well. You know what I mean? She's taking it well because guess what they do as soon as PJ is rejected? They go back to studying. No harm done. No pressuring anyone. No forcing herself on anyone. Straight men out there learn how to do it. Unfortunately, the football team is now cooking up a grand plan to end the fight club because they are homophobes. They want all the attention on the football team and their gay leader. It's so absurdist that even the cheerleading routine is just dumping water on the head cheerleader like a wet t-shirt contest. What? See, this comedy hits hard. So anywho, in order to basically expose how much of a farce this fight club is, the men in this film think that it's such a great way to put one of the tiniest girls of the club, Hazel, in a fist fight with this fucking beast. What is this? Why is this man in high school? Look at him. That is a 30-year-old man. Let's do a test. I may not like the results, but comment down below who looks older, him or me. If you say me, I swear to God, I'm going to block you. If I find a button to block viewers, no, seriously, look at him. Like, there's something that I've noticed online is that Americans, when they hit the age of like 21, 22, 23, they look like they've been alive for 40 years. I don't know what's happening in the US, but y'all look so old. You'll be in your early 20s and you look like you're in your mid to late 30s, like you have a mortgage and have 3 or 4 kids running around. I don't understand. So the fight is between Hazel and this big bulldoze of a man, and it goes as well as you would have expected. Hazel does attack him quite ferociously, and you know what, to be fair, look at that, dodging some punches, getting hit, but going back into the fight. She's doing the most. She is doing the very best she can do. Look at her. She's like 95 pounds versus 250 pounds of pure beef-fed muscle and rage and testosterone and repressed sexuality. I don't know. In my mind, all of these rage-filled idiots are just gay men who haven't gotten fucked yet. And if you don't agree, you can argue with the wall. Go to the wall and argue with it. Nonetheless, the fight ends with Hazel getting violently thrown on the floor, and she's done for because she's tiny. And then the little weasel, this little prick, tells the entire school that Josie and PJ were never in juvie, and they did in fact just create the club so they could fuck cheerleaders. And apparently when women do it, it's a problem, but when men do it, it's a rom-com of the 80s and 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. Damn. And then to further support this absurdist claim, the boxer dude, the beast, goes and just kicks Hazel in the face. Hello? So now everyone is mad at everyone. PJ and Josie have an argument, a really severe argument between best friends. They're hitting all of the story beats before the third act climax. Isabel goes back to her man-child boyfriend who keeps cheating on her, who's cheated on her 4 times with her sister. And Josie visits their gay Yoda, the woman that used to babysit PJ and Josie, who is also a lesbian, who turns out was closeted in high school, which comes as a surprise to Josie because, just look at her. Gay Yoda over here tells her that, with the game coming up, the other team is most likely gonna fuck up an unlucky player. And she tells the tales of when they burnt someone at the pole with their dog, or when they drowned someone in a kiddie pool. They basically, every so often, they kill someone. They're just going to kill one of the football players. So Josie runs back to PJ, begging her for help to basically save the asshole football player who destroyed their grand scheme of sleeping with hot women. They make up, as they always do in these films, just ahead of the climax. And they head over to the football game, which again looks like a cult, but it is told in the way that it resembles a cult because, again, we're listening to old wise lesbians retell their high school years. And they apologize to the Three Stooges over here. It goes well. PJ apologizes to Hazel in specific because, you know, the entire film, they've had a vibe. But Hazel was never really talked about as a potential love interest to either of the two because neither of them shows any interest whatsoever in Hazel. But I always felt like Hazel and PJ had some sort of a vibe going on. And they will make out very, very shortly. So they need to save someone, and the most likely target of the next attack is going to be Jeff, the man baby himself. Look at him. That face was made to suck dick. There you go. PJ and Hazel making out to distract the crowds, all while the girls try to come up with a plan to save Jeff. Josie notices that there is pineapple juice in the vicinity. Now, Jeff is deathly allergic to pineapples, so the attack's going to be on his allergies for sure. They just have to figure out how it's gonna go down. They do some brainstorming, and the black Republican over here realizes that it's in the sprinklers. They're going to sprinkle the entire field with pineapple juice, most likely killing Jeff in the process. So they run to the field to save Jeff. Josie carries him to safety. Look at her carrying that big man. Like, that's a big man. I don't know if I could run holding someone like that. Like I said, if you want something done right, call the lesbians. And there's a fight. A fight just starts between the fight club and the other high school, and it's quite gnarly. Again, absurdist. There's a lot of blood, but then there's this specific scene. Sylvie, the one with a stepdad, grabs a fucking sword, and then this guy gets pushed, and just a massive sword going through a high school student, and he's dead. People actually died, unlike Stonewall. And this is the aftermath. There's like a lot of blood on those clothes. Like this one specifically, that man bled on her. That's concerning. The sprinklers come on, and this bitch boy screams that it's pineapple juice and that Jeff is deathly allergic. So they turn off the sprinklers. Jeff is saved, and the other football team is just laying there on the floor, half dead. Some of them fully dead. I don't see anyone breathing. Kids, don't be violent in high school. You'll get stabbed with a sword in front of your entire friends and family and hometown. So now they're heroes. They're all forgiven, and Isabel and Josie, look at them. Isn't lesbian love beautiful? Because it doesn't involve fucking men. Oh, also, before they tried to save Jeff and attack the other team, the plan was to create a bomb and to explode a bomb to create a diversion. So after the entire fight was over, you know, the bomb does go off in like 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. I was right. It was right on the money. My countdown was perfect. And that's it. That is Bottoms. What a film. What a fantastic comedy. Proof that lesbians can do it all. A lesbian spin on the concept of Fight Club that does it all without hating women. And I don't know why, but this film cost like 11 million to make, and it only grossed 12 million worldwide. See, you piss me off. Y'all should have gone to the cinema, and this didn't even make $1 million outside of the US. So I don't just blame the gays for not supporting it. I blame the distribution companies for not putting it out. Making less than $1 million on an international release, and it's a movie that, I mean, they had the budget, right? It looks like they had the budget. They just didn't market it enough, or they didn't release it in enough territories. I don't know. These small scale releases really piss me off because 12 million only sounds about straight. So that's it for satires. I was going to talk about But I'm a Cheerleader, but at this point, I feel like that one everybody kind of knows in some capacity or another. So we went with Bottoms. Sorry. And for my next videos, I'm still debating because I really want to see what the Cult of Carol is all about. But there's also these two other films that is like the male gaze and the female gaze making lesbian stories. I kind of want to have a look at that and see what I think. So yeah, if you want to see all of that and maybe more, then make sure to subscribe down below so you keep up with, our next videos. Like a video. If you haven't liked a video before, like this one today. And let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of Bottoms? Did you see it? Did you not see it? Come on, you saw it, right? Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, guys, stay safe, stay sane, stay stupid, and stay stuttering. And go support a lesbian today. Bye.